Hello and welcome to round number 10 of the iRacing Renault Clio League, which comes onto a new lap. We are going to ride on board with him. He has gone fastest at the moment. Keeping an eye on off-tracks right now. A lot of drivers completing lap times, but not a lot of them are valid right now. That includes from Riley Downey. That's not what he is going to want here. He's going to want to place himself ahead of the other D2 drivers, take advantage of Spain's absence here at Knockhill. Up towards the end of the lap. Milan Vukovic comes up the hill now, sticks it over the curbing, not on the sausage curbs though, makes that track nice and wide. Stephen Hurd has gone fastest. Will Vukovic go faster still as he comes across the line? No! Yes! Milan Vukovic is going to start from first ahead of James Lazark-Smith. Marcus Law is in third ahead of Henriquez. Jürgen Nagel, the only D2 driver in Heat Race 1. He's going to win Heat Race 1 in his division. Clayton McBuller is going to start from 6th ahead of Matty Cridland, Matt Malone, John Cook and Harry Fox at the back. And that's a jump start by the looks of it from Lazark-Smith. We're green, we are away. Is Lazark-Smith going to get away with that, or is he going to get a black flag? It looks like he's got away with it from the second position launch there. He will not get a black flag for that one. A slide there from Jürgen Nagel. He just needs to finish this race and get the points. It doesn't matter if he is last overall. He is going to win division number 2. Other drivers will be trying to work their way around him. Matt Malone almost off the circuit there. He's got cars up his inside. That's a really hard part to be on the outside. He loses 2 positions down to 9th overall. He's got John Cook behind him, looking to try and make up any positions here. Up the inside of Clayton McBuller for 6th position. Into turn number 1, 2 different racing lines. Number of cars onto the grass. Matty Cridland and Clayton McBuller onto the grass. That moves Harry Fox up the order. Clayton McBuller returns the track down the order. Matty Cridland returns the track behind Jürgen Nagel ahead of him onto the gravel. That was John Cook into the wall. A heavy hit there. The first turn on the circuit. Matt Malone dives up the inside of Clayton McBuller. McBuller keeps it on the circuit this time. Lazark-Smith. And it's a turn 1. Again turn 1. Catching drivers out. Lazark-Smith all the way off the circuit and into the tyre wall for him. That is not for points, it is just for overall position. Another deep braking moment for McBuller. Can't get those first 2 turns right. Through goes Matty Cridland. Clayton McBuller falls down, but here comes Jürgen Nagel to get involved. Nagel doesn't get to the inside, and a big slide from Nagel there. Puts in a 49.081. That's Matt Malone coming out of pit lane. Has distracted McBuller, or has McBuller just done another wide turn? Smith knows that he can make this move. He is quick around this track. He is quick in this car. He moves to the outside of Luis Henriquez. It's not going to work out. He backs out early. Henriquez pushes hard. Could that have been a calculated move that could give Henriquez a slowdown here? It doesn't look like it is right now, but we'll see along the straight. This one, he has been black flagged and sent to pit lane. I believe that is for incident limit. As he comes through, and that's on the outside again is Lazark-Smith. This time forced off the track, and through goes Harry Fox out front. 2 more laps to go as Lazark-Smith dives up the inside of Harry Fox and gets that move done brilliantly, but he brakes on the exit. There's contact between the 2 of them, and Milan Vukovic wins ahead of Marcus Law. Luis Henriquez take 3rd. Who's going to take 4th? Across the line, it is Lazark-Smith, as it was Vukovic with the win ahead of Law and Henriquez. Lazark-Smith just came across the line ahead of Harry Fox. Matty Cridland took home 6th ahead of McBuller. Nagel winning Division 2. John Cook a lap down, and Matt Malone disqualified from that one. Let's have a look at the grid for heat race number 2. Here is Stephen Hurd out at front alongside Cedric Gabrat, Ian Lane and Philip van der Herk. Neil Rocks in 5th and Ralph, who is a D1 driver, in 6th place. 7th place is the D2 field. It's Riley Downey leading Anders Hagland and Peter McIntyre. We are green already in the background. That was a very quick start. And it is Stephen Hurd leading the way up towards turn number 1. That's the quickest start we've ever had to heat race number 2. And that's about 4 or 5 cars onto the grass at a turn at number 2 there. As we head on to the back half of the lap already. They've settled themselves in single file into the front of the field and the back of the field. Sometimes it's nicer that way to see the fights go out, but Gabrat moves into the lead as Hurd runs onto the grass. Philip van der Herk under attack from Neil Rocks behind, and I'd argue the entire D1 field. Not a single one of them more than a second behind the driver ahead, but that is a big mistake from Stephen Hurd. He gets the gravel, he goes wide, Ian Lane moves through, and here comes Philip van der Herk. Van der Herk has moved into the top 10 into the championship for the 2nd time this season. In fact, it was a purple lap for him as Ian Lane slides it from 2nd position. Stephen Hurd gets through up the inside, and now Philip van der Herk side by side gets up inside of Ian Lane. Ian Lane is black flagged. It's the limit for Ian Lane, and Philip van der Herk is off. Just 1.3 seconds, but I don't think he is going to have enough time to fight Gabrat for the win here. Off the circuit goes the D2 leader, Anders Hagland. He gets it back on, but right behind now is Peter McIntyre. 2 different racing lines, and it looks like McIntyre is going to hold it on the outside. Hagland is going to tuck behind, surely up towards turn 1. No, he stays to the left, wanting to stay an active presence in the mirror, possibly trying to force McIntyre into a mistake. But Peter McIntyre leads the D2 field here at Knockhill. D1, he needs to win D2. He's off the circuit though, and here comes Anders Hagland, back at it, back through goes Anders Hagland. Gabrat, as van der Herk makes a pass, past Neil Rocks behind. Gabrat will win ahead of Stephen Hurd. Van der Herk takes 3rd. Who's going to take 4th? If it's going to be Rocks or Aero. They are side by side across the line, but Neil Rocks takes it. It was Gabrat winning here and heat race 2 ahead of Stephen Hurd, who closed it down, but it just wasn't enough at his home race. Philip van der Herk took 3rd ahead of Neil Rocks, and Ralph Aero took home 5th. Ian Lane, a lap down, took home 6th in class and 9th overall. And the podium for the D2 finishers were Anders Hagland, Peter McIntyre and Riley Downey. It is Milan Vukovic who will start this one ahead of Cedric Gabrat. Marcus Law in 3rd ahead of Stephen Hurd, Luis Henriquez and van der Herk. We then see Lasik Smith, Rocks, Fox and Aero, followed by Quidland. Anders Hagland will start this one in 12th, McBuller in 13th, and Peter McIntyre ahead of championship rival Jürgen Nagel. And Riley Downey in 16th at the back of the D2 drivers. The back of the field would be John Cook, Ian Lane and Matt Malone. It's green and we are away here at Knockhill as the drivers head up towards turn number 1. It's side by side at the front, but they settle themselves down. Are they going to run off the circuit? There's a sideways car. That's Stephen Hurd. He settles himself down as more cars running off in the background. But it looks like we are going to get ourselves through at the front without any major issues. Cars pushing themselves though so hard that they are visiting the grass right now. This is van der Herk. He's ahead of Lasik Smith as they run incredibly close down the chicane. The D2 championship contender needs. He has got major damage on the back end. Cars are so much louder now in this one for some reason than they were in the last one. I think it might be the cameras we were using. No, it's still incredibly loud, my word. As the drivers head through, it looks like a couple of fights going on. Matty Quinlan and John Cook here. They're back towards the bottom end here at Knockhill. Henriquez looks to the inside of Marcus Law. Law gets the glass. Will try to keep it on ahead of Lassick Smith, but Lassick Smith takes full advantage of it, slides up the inside, takes the position, and is now behind Luis Henriquez. Luis Henriquez kicked up a little bit of glass. That's Marcus Law on the glass behind, but here comes Lassick Smith to the left-hand side, and he gets the position before the corners even arrive on Vukovic's car. He goes defensive to the left. Jabrat has to go to the right-hand side. It's going to be the long way round. Vukovic holds it. Jabrat does not go to push. He goes for the switchback. Jabrat playing Vukovic like a fiddle, and he moves through up the inside, but they're both off the track. Surely that's a slowdown. For a second, the gap just not there on Vukovic's side as Marcus Law goes deep towards the end of the lap, gives up the position to Alvaro. Aero on the rear end of Neil Rocks here. Rocks going for an overtake into the chicane, and through goes McBullough past Cridland. Cook is out of this race alongside Downey. Cook got a black flag before he went out of the race, probably the reason he decided to abandon the feature race on this one. As it looks like Rocks has a cover, he's about a second ahead of this fight, but here comes Marcus Law. Law to the inside of Aero. There's contact. Both of them keep it on the track. Aero switches back over and there's more contact. Law is sideways, but he holds the position. As we head up now towards the timing line, 48 seconds is a lap. This is 54. I think it's going to count it as white flag, but here comes Vukovic up the inside of Jabrat. Milan Vukovic takes the inside of Jabrat, and Jabrat had no response. Almost bested by the Frenchman behind. Pushing as hard as he can. Cedric Jabrat just isn't going to be able to make it to the front of the field. Milan Vukovic wins feature race 1 at Knockhill ahead of Cedric Jabrat. Feature race 1, it was Milan Vukovic who won that one, 7/10 of a second ahead of Jabrat, one of the closest finishers in feature race 1 this season. Lassick Smith took home 3rd ahead of Harry Fox and Luis Henriquez. Stephen Hurd took home 6th in his home race ahead of Ralph Aero, Philip van der Herk and Matt Malone. Jürgen Nagel wins division number 2. Ian Lane took 11th overall. Anders Hagland and Peter McIntyre taking the final podium places in their divisions. Clayton McBullough finished in 14th at Neil Rocks and Marcus Law. Both of those drivers disqualified and placed a lap down at the end of that one. Matty Cridland, John Cook both out of the race at the end of the race, and Riley Downey out early doors for what could be the new D2 championship leader. Riley Downey is going to start feature race 2 from the front ahead of John Cook. Matty Cridland from 3rd ahead of Marcus Law, Neil Rocks and McBullough. McIntyre will start from 7th ahead of Hagland, Lane, Nagel. Matt Malone from 11th ahead of Vanden Herk. Ralph Aero will start from 13th ahead of Stephen Hurd. Luis Henriquez from 15th ahead of Fox, Lassick Smith and Jabrat. And race winner from feature 1, Vukovic, will start at the back of the field for this full grid reverse in the rain. We are green and away around Knockhill from feature race 2, 20 minutes of rapid action in a fully inverted grid. Drivers head to turn 1. We already have the 404 into the wall. Peter McIntyre around at turn 1. Drivers keeping it better on the circuit this time than they did in the dry races, but around went Peter McIntyre and down the order already at turn number 1. More cars off in the background, including, it looked like Vanden Herk, though possibly no it wasn't. It was Ralph Aero. Huge contact between Aero and Henriquez there. That looked like something going on between the two of them. What on earth was that? Matty Quinlan Up the inside of Riley Downey. He takes it, but he's off the track. And around goes Jurgen Nagel behind. Somehow, it looks like Matty Quidland holds the lead. Riley Downey's in second still. What the heck just happened there? As they all come through. Up the hill now, contact between Downey and Law. They go over the top of the hill. It's an inverted grid. It is a wet race for the first time today. And my word, is it already causing absolute havoc and mayhem. It's turn number 1. Here comes Neil Rocks up the inside of Riley Downey. Riley Downey does not need to lead the overall race, just the blue cars that he needs to beat. Anders Hagman further down the order. Riley Downey off the track there, but he's back on now, and it looks like he's going to lose position to Ian Lane as well. He certainly is. That 5 already. As more cars off at the chicane. They're just disappearing over the hill and reappearing at the bottom of it. Not going to do anything with it. There, a huge slide from Vukovic ahead. Riley's sliding down the hill. And he's off onto the grass. He gets it back on before the gravel. He's got Ian Lane up his inside. He's got Cedric DeBrett and Harry Fox just behind him as well. Neil Rocks is off, having to recover back onto the circuit. Contact with Anders Hagland as he comes back onto the circuit. Here comes Harry Fox. Lane seems to have got a slow run on that exit. Could be dealing with a slowdown as we head through. Stephen Hurd gets up past Jabrat in the background as well. Side of Matty Quidland up towards the first turn. They're side by side, and just like he took the lead in feature 1, he takes the lead here in feature race 2, Knockhill Circuit. Ian Lane holds the position ahead of Downey as Stephen Hurd goes around on his own. And that's also off the track. Neil Rocks, I think, as the races occur, but that's the 3rd one this season, and all of them have happened during the race. And we've had 2 post-race disqualifications for the first time this season as well. And at the moment, the positions you just don't know who's going to go for what right now. Downey up the inside of Fox. Vukovic, 57.2 is pulling away out at the lead. Fox and Downey side by side. Who's going to get the better exit? The puddles are on Fox's side. Downey, if he can just keep it on the left-hand side there, he could take it. He's not going to. In fact, he backs out of it and lets Philip van der Herk through as well. Van der Herk actually fighting Fox for position, so that might have been... No, and off goes Fox on the exit. A wobble. He gets it back on. He doesn't lose too much time, but he loses the position overall. Isaac Smith trying to recover. As that was off the track was Anders Hagland. Is the fastest man out there. 56.7. Incredibly fast in these wet conditions. He's on the right-hand side here of Neil Rocks. Are they going to be able to make it side by side and clean through? Yes, they are. Somehow keeps it on the track here. Riley Downey can take the victory here. The feature race 2 and a slide for Ian Lane. A slide for Riley Downey. They're both facing the right way, but Riley Downey's off. Can he keep it out of the wall? Yes, somehow. And about 4 laps out of it. But here comes Harry Fox to look at the inside of Ian Lane. They're side by side. And they go through cleanly. Ian Lane backs out of that one. Going slowly, has just been caught up on mine, and he goes sideways again. He's got James Alex Smith just behind. Then Cedric back and Ralph Aero. There's still 6 seconds back to the cars further back from him. What is Downey going to choose to do here? He's braking early. He's letting James Alex Smith up the inside. He's side by side here with Aero. He brakes again, lets Aero through. Is it contact? No, he's tried to make the overtake on Malone, and he can't quite get it turned in. And a meatball flag for that throws Van den Herk out of the race, as you can see. Van den Herk went off. He's gone around. He slides it. We've seen a number of cars go up there. He's into the wall as well. He's recovered to 4th position, however, so he hasn't dropped too far back, but he is now off of the podium. Number 1, Aero on the outside, Lazark Smith on the inside. These are 2 drivers who are racing in the league for the first time this season. Aero goes wide, now going to go for the exit as Lazark Smith holds on to 5th position. Aero has got a really slow exit. Ian Lane moves up into 6th position. They're still side by side though. Can he confirm it? Oh, he's going to have to give Aero space on the outside. Aero's going to be on the part where there's a lot of puddles though. Ian Lane on the preferred line down the chicane. Aero not backing out though. Milan Vukovic wins here at at Knockhill. We'll be back here next week. And he'll be loving that because he's won all 3 races he's competed in today. This is the fight for 3rd. Matt Malone has made his way past Matty Quidlan. And Matt Malone will take the podium position. This is how it happened as we were watching Vukovic cross the line. Matt Malone got a great exit out of the first 2 turns. Got to the left-hand side and got the position before the corner. From the back of the field, Milan Vukovic won that one. 22 seconds clear of Harry Fox. That's what's incredibly impressive. Not only did Vukovic come from the back of the field, he also won by a staggering 22 seconds. Matt Malone took home the podium ahead of Matty Quidland on the last lap there. James Lazick-Smith took home the final top 5, just 0.2 of a second clear of Ian Lane. Ralph Aero took home 7th ahead of Cedric Gibrat. And it was Riley Downey who wins Division 2 ahead of Jürgen Nagel. Even with his disqualification, because McIntyre was a lap down, Anders Hagland remains in 3rd place in class and did not actually change position with his disqualification. Peter McIntyre took home 4th and last in the D2 class. Sean Cook took home 13th, and Philip van der Herk, after his accident, finished in 14th. Out of the race was Luis Henriquez, disqualified. Neil Rocks, disqualified. Stephen Hurd, Marcus Law, and Clayton McBuller, disqualified.